I vocalize it, unless I scream, why do I have to scream? And then I'm the bad guy.
I just need fucking help.
I just need somebody to hear what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And that's why we become friends in the change room. Just start talking.
And that's the thing. And I actually was listening, and then I see that it comes up the Sigma male. I relate to that myself too. Like I like to march to the beat of my own drum. I like doing my own thing. I like to be the guy that's like, hey, like, see, I could be maybe part of this crowd here and there, but I'm not going to be fully in. I'll be on the outside. And I have another friend that's like that. He was on my we were talking to. His name's Don. He's a really cool guy. Like, and the emotional part too. Like, I feel like I was more sensitive as a kid. I had temper tantrums and everything. It's because I felt so much inside, and I didn't. And being as a man, I don't know about you, but like it was hard for me. Being a sensitive man is fucking hard.
Not nowadays. It was back then.
That's very true. I'm growing up, like, I don't know,
you would basically get called the homophobic slurs if you showed any weakness.
Oh, and so I relate to that too. So it's like, oh, cool, man. Like, cool, because like I
find somebody like you.
That's right.
Sigmas are awfully rare, but I keep finding them now that I'm more or less doing my own thing. Right before, I used to try to fit in, and I'm the guy who would go into the house party, for example, but at a certain point, I just have my fill, and then I would sneak out. I'd never say goodbye, because I don't want the goodbyes. I don't want the, oh, I love you, buddy. Oh, you sure have another drink with me? When I'm done, I'm done.
And that's, I've done that too. I get that. The Irish goodbye, they call it.
Everybody's like, where'd Clint go? He does this all the time.
He's disappeared into the night.
I think that's also a Sigma trait.
That makes sense. And I wonder where that word "sig" came from. Like, I looked into it a little bit, but to be honest, wherever it came from, I do relate to the traits of it quite a bit. And I feel like I'm pretty big on freedom and autonomy, and I like to have other people to have that too, right? And whereas, like, I think people that, like, and then even the word alpha, like, to me is different. Like, I think, like, males conceive it as like, oh, I gotta be the stuff guy.
That's why guys go to the gym. You become alphas. You can't become an alpha. You're raised by your mother to become a narcissist. And then you're somehow fall into the alpha group, right?
And I think, like, when I see an alpha, someone that looks after people, that takes care of people, that helps people.
Well, alphas need a lot of control.
And they
need to be heard, and they need to be the center of attention.
And to me, I don't see that as alpha at all. I find the ones that are quieter. That's just my.
Maybe a true alpha.
That's a true one. Like, but I think the ones that
there's narcissists.
I gotta be this.
Narcissists who want to be alphas.
I gotta be controlling. I gotta be the bully. I don't see that. I see someone as an alpha as a leader, and that will just be there and will take care of their people, and like that's how I see it.
It's the way it should be. That's probably the actual definition. But so many people, like you said, go in the gym want to be alphas. And
I gotta be this. Oh, I don't have any lats, but my arms are like this. Thing. So it's like
imaginary lat syndrome.
Imaginary lat syndrome. That's right. Okay, so this one. I can't use the word. So you talk to friends who, like, I don't know if I think it was a discussion we had. It was talking about friends that had thoughts of unaliving themselves. What did you learn about what men actually need in those moments?
Well, I've had friends take their own lives, and they weren't being heard. Right? Some of them had asked for help, but were told, "Oh, it'll be all right." Once you return to work, for example, in the case of my brother-in-law, and it doesn't have to be a social economic thing either. My brother-in-law is extremely successful. He's one of the head writers for the BC government in Victoria, a $2 million house, Gonzales Bay on the water. Could have retired at any point in time, but just got overwhelmed after the tail end of COVID and working from home, isolating, and he disappeared, well, presumably took his own life because he still haven't found the body. But he had it made. He could have just retired. So everybody was telling him, because he was about to go back to his old position, because his current position that he had signed up for wasn't working out, due to the fact that he was overwhelmed and just couldn't get his feet underneath him, and nobody was recognizing his cries for help as much as they should have been. But he also didn't scream loud enough, which is something that men don't want to do, and be vulnerable anyway. So he just disappeared. If I had known more about it at the time, I would have recognized it, because I'd already gone through my stuff, right? And so I would have, well, for sure, because of the training we had in corrections, right? We had suicide awareness training, so we were aware of all the symptoms, and I would like to think that I would have recognized them if he had displayed them properly. But he may not have with me, because you just never know, right? So it's just a hard thing. In the end, he did what he wanted to do, and he is where he wanted to be at that point in time, whether it was a proper decision or not. And that's what I try to think about with people who are struggling with it, with those thoughts. It's a dark place, and for me personally, because I went through it, I was so overwhelmed with going through an investigation that I was going through, where I had stuck up sexually harassed by my male coworker. I supported her, and then a lot of the institution, like I said, the subculture in the institution was a lot of the time before the Me Too movement was a lot like the inmate subculture. So I was being called a rat. I put in paperwork on him and supported her. You know, I was put in that position where I had to say yes or no. Did this happen? Right? And but I also prided myself in supporting her, and I learned what women go through in a workplace specifically like that. I had no idea how bad it was. And so for me, it was like a flash of lightning. Fuck it, just kill yourself. No, Clint, you can't do that. A couple days later, fuck it, just kill yourself. Like a flash of lightning, but then those flashes became regular, and then a lot of times it was the first thought in my brain before I even opened my eyes in the morning was making my own life. And people need to hear and see your struggles, but they can't hear and see it if you're too stoic.
That's true.
So you have to be willing to be vulnerable, and as a man, we were taught growing up that we weren't allowed to be vulnerable. So it's a catch-22, honestly. It's a damned if you do and a damned if you don't, depending on who you talk to, right? But I think the resources out there are better now more than ever, and they'll only get better as time goes on. And I think people need to reach out to the professionals, 100% to the professionals, because they can tell that close their sibling and might get downplayed like it may have happened with my mother-in-law scenario. So where he was told, "Oh, you'll be all right once you get back to your old job." He didn't make it back to his old job.
No.
Nobody was hearing what he was saying, or that person that he had spoken to wasn't hearing what he was saying. And if he had reached out to that professional and told them the truth, you got to be honest. When you're not doing well, you're not doing well, and that's just the way it is, right? It's no different than me with my fight or flight response. It's not up to me, right?
And I've come from a place where I had those thoughts too. Like in teenagehood, I did attempt, and it was like I took a bunch of pills, and I was very lucky that my foster mom at the time, she knew what happened, or she found out what happened, and I got to the hospital, and she gave me charcoal, or they gave me charcoal, and she sat with me the whole night, and that was the major time where I did that. And I've had the thoughts come through and everything, and that's why I'm like, I want people to be able to reach out. And I actually worked on this. I've been working on this piece of document, and I got it mostly finished. I sent it to my girlfriend, and she's showed me some edits, so I got to edit a couple things, but I'm going to post it on just so people could click on. It's like, so they have a resource where they can call somebody, and it's like there's a national wide line. I think there's one in Canada and the US, so I'm going to include the resources like that for people, and hopefully like videos like this, just to know that they're not alone. Like, that's like the biggest thing. Like, we need to come together and talk about it. Like, even though it doesn't feel right, doesn't feel normal. And I came from a place where I was always people pleasing for other people all the time, and then I would be abandoning and neglecting myself. And so it's like it was unnatural for me to be vulnerable and because of those things too. Oh, you want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about, and those kind of things, right? So it's just like
boys weren't allowed to cry back in our day. No, not at all. I broke my arm when I was a little kid, and I was told big boys don't cry. And today I can't turn my wrist because we never got taken to the hospital because I stopped crying.
Oh,
because I listened to the person who told me big boys don't cry.
Yeah, and that's almost like in a way, because like being human is part of crying. Like that's an emotion, right? And it is something. Like I know there's times in life where it's like shit's fucking hitting the fan right now, and we have the survival tools to shut everything off. But then it's like after we're out of that survival, it's like how do we heal that? And I think that's very important to do. Like say like if something significant happened, right? Like it's like we're in survival, we're gonna get shit done, and our bodies do that. But then it's like, okay, now I'm safe, and now it's like I gotta be able to look back and process all that. Not just mentally, but emotionally, especially with guys emotionally too, because like it's fucking hard.
Well, that was something that we did in corrections. We would have, I forget what they called it now, but it was after an incident, somebody who was trained, and I think it's a 1 day or 3 day training session, and they would come and check up on you, and you would debrief and talk about it. Critical incident stress management, I think it was called. And but the problem was, it used to be outside agencies like counselors or psychologists. So you would say, "Holy crap, man, I'm freaking out! Like that was intense. Like I don't know how I'm gonna process that, right?" And then they would help you and guide you. But once it became our own peers doing it, because they wanted to save money, it was no longer effective. Because when anybody had ever come up to me and said, "Hey, Clint, just offering this critical incident stress management, I'm wondering if you need to talk," I'd be like, "Fuck that, man, I got it. That's not, no, I'm not, I'm good. And they'd walk away.
Now I'm teaching you. Like, share, follow. Free guides are in my bio. Let's build together.